We wrap up the NBA playoffs and a wonderful NBA season. I got David Bloom with me, man. We're going to talk about Steph Curry. We're going to talk about Kawhi Leonard. We're going to talk about the new champion Toronto Raptors. All that and more coming up right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz
begin. They go that jingle.
Yeah, there it is.
Lemieux, man. I called him. I pulled an audible. Got Lemieux in the booth. That was a pleasant surprise, man. He like one of the higher up David Bloom. He like one of the upper echelon. He came down off his ivory tower, went in the control booth, started pushing little buttons, and I'm like, damn, what I do to deserve this, man? I don't know if it's a punishment or this is a come up. I don't know what it is. But
it's both.
Yo, we're here with the NBA playoffs. We're wrapping everything up with a nice little bow. But before I get started, I got to introduce my man, my co-star, my co-pilot, man. Listen, man, my young buck, man. My aficionado, man. My man that knows all. David H. Bloom, what's going on, young man?
So many titles.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. This isn't the first time either.
Yeah. Trust me. Well, I'm setting you up, but I'm gonna have to bring it back down in a minute. So it's your boy, Evan back. So we're here to wrap up the NBA playoffs in a tumultuous, exciting, thrilling NBA season, man. But I don't know if y'all can see this, man. But I got a little ball out here, man. A little crystal ball, man. That raises up for my people. This is a little crystal ball. See a little mini crystal ball. See, I look deep inside this crystal ball and I see many things, man. I usually don't bring this to set. I usually do this at home, privacy in my own home. I sit back, I chill out, I relax, and I just look at this crystal ball. And I seen something. I was like, man, I think the Raptors gonna win the NBA title. It came to me in the tea leaves in a vision. I had a vision. And then I came on the show and I came to my closest guys, my guys that I trust, the guys that I confide in, Spike Reed, David Bloom. I mean, my road dogs, my homies, my ride or dies. And I got met with such venom. Steven, could you play that clip? But when I picked the Toronto Raptors to win the NBA championship,
they take the Warriors down once and for all.
He's going to the Clippers, unfortunately, man.
Probably.
I thought you were going down a good path. I started smiling.
I know, and then he went there.
When he went there,
I got the Raptors winning this championship.
Excuse me?
Come on, man.
Yes, I do.
Come on,
I went there. If they do, they have to do. No, I don't do that. I don't do gotcha journalism.
I know you don't. That's why I'm quite surprised.
But listen, they got to do what I want them to do in order for this to happen. They got to play smart defense. They got to do good switching, good rotation. Stop going underneath the screens. Portland. Who goes underneath Golden State screens? No. So David Bloom, everybody listening, y'all get the idea, man. I don't want this to go on, man. I don't want my genius to just keep going on for the rest of this show. I'm a humble man. I'm a humble man, Stephen Lemieux. I'm a humble man, David H. Bloom. I want you to comment on your misstep. You usually don't really. You a very accurate shooter. You rarely misfire. Some would say you're very Klay Thompson, very Steph Curry in the way you shoot and aim and predictions and when you pontificate and whatnot. But you missed this one, David Bloom. Can I get my props?
Yeah, I'm usually not Steph Curry Game 6. Jeez.
Take me. Yeah.
Well, I'll be the first to admit.
Yes, go. What's up?
I was wrong. And I'll tell you why I was wrong, because I was wrong.
I just like when young people admit when they're wrong, because you're a part of this new era that doesn't take responsibility for anything. You guys just do, and you do, and you do, and then you blame us for your problems. I like a young man. This is why I like you. This is why you my brother. You admit your shortcomings.
Yeah, I was wrong about this one. I'll tell you my thinking why.
Go.
Because coming into the series, I saw 4 tremendous games against the Blazers, and 2 of them, without KD versus the Rockets, mind you. Yes, they're a bit dysfunctional now, but
boy, are they.
The Warriors had won every game since Kevin Durant went out. All right? And it wasn't even about Kevin Durant going out. I thought not even KD coming back, I didn't even have that on my radar. I thought if the Warriors could play the same basketball, they're going to win the championship.
This music's glorious.
You would like to adopt a David Bloom or a child like him whose prediction was wrong.
I thought the Warriors were going to win again.
Mail 3 nickels and 1 dime to P.O. Box 666. North Hollywood, California. Hey, he's looking through a crystal ball.
There's a lot of witchcraft and wizardry going on in the mini ball. Go ahead, young man.
It's hard to see. It's hard to foresee even with your crystal ball.
I'm telling you, I was in there.
You know, the second Kevin Durant injury, which is an Achilles injury, is one of the worst injuries you can have in sports.
You better believe it. I believe the worst.
It's one of the worst. It can ruin careers. You know, you saw what it did to DeMarcus Cousins. Yep. He was not even a factor.
No.
In this whole playoff.
As much as everyone wants to act like he was not.
He was not. For every game he played, he had some time off, but for every game he did play, he was not much of a factor. And I hate to see a guy like Kevin Durant go down with that injury.
Of course you do.
Like him going down, you know, with the what was it, a calf or...
Which it was never a calf. I'm telling you, it was never a calf.
Whatever it was.
Come on.
He can recover from that. Kevin Durant's been injured before in his career. But to see him go down with an Achilles tear.
Oh, boy.
Not a sprain, not a strain, a tear. That is just... That is so hard to see as just a basketball fan. I mean, it shifts the entire NBA landscape. It drops the Warriors down from where they're going to be, especially now.
For sure.
Which is hard to predict. The Klay Thompson, the first injury from Klay, he comes back. You know, he goes, I think he went like hard to the goal or something, fell on that leg, and, you know, he told Steve Kerr, let me sit down for 2 minutes. And he got back up and he shot 2 free throws like Kobe.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, though, Klay's tough. Klay's gonna rehab as fast as he can, be back as fast as he can. And I don't care. It's at least 6 months, 7 months.
Come on, an ACL, a torn ACL.
He's actually doesn't get credit for being one of the toughest people in the league. Just this past year alone, he didn't miss one playoff game. He until the hamstring started acting up a little bit, and he had to miss one. He didn't even want to miss that, but he cared more about the team. We're gonna get into more of that, but first, I want to thank everybody for joining us AfterBuzz TV. We appreciate y'all. ESPN and TV Talk and whatnots. Everybody, please like and subscribe. 5 stars, 18 thumbs up. Subscribe to everything AfterBuzz. Like everything AfterBuzz. You can get more David H. Bloom and Evan Mack.
Yes, you can.
I want to thank everybody for joining the chat as usual. My man Haywood Bong. I appreciate you. Chris in the chat. That looks new to me. Appreciate you. Charlene, what's going on? Boo. Oh, yeah. I appreciate all that. Definitely a round of applause for my main people in here. And I appreciate y'all keeping me up to date on Raw when I do this show. Because y'all know, Dan, what's going on? Star Drew, what's going on? Y'all are amazing, man. I really do appreciate y'all, man. Y'all the reason why I do this show. So... All in all, pretty solid NBA Finals. Listen, injuries are part of the game. There's no asterisk on championships, as much people want to act like there is. The Toronto Raptors are a legitimate champion. They got the NBA title. I think the one general manager getting a little too much props for like getting good players. Like when people get props for getting good players. Like the one, the Gasol, like, oh, he got Gasol. I'm like, these are good players though. Like, you know what I mean? I told you, I give you more props when you find a player that no one knows is good. Like he got like savvy veterans in a top 5 basketball player.
That's. I mean, they were good moves to get him, but the move wasn't good because you predicted the right player. The move was good because you went out and got the good player.
Yeah, I guess Wizards offer him a king's ransom. I'm like, we got hold on now. Whoa, what y'all gonna?
He's not gonna bring Marcus Gasol to the Wizards, and that's gonna save their franchise. Everybody,
we gotta just pump the brakes a little bit. I think it was an amazing thing for a franchise, a 24-year-old franchise to get their first title. Yeah. My heart aches for Vince Carter, for he established that as a legitimate squad, him and T-Mac in the earlier years. So I know he probably was a part of the parade. And so it's one of those things. So congratulations to the Toronto Raptors. But it's okay, so with that being said, give me your biggest takeaway from the NBA Finals as far as what the Warriors went through. How you feeling about Steph now? Because I've been hearing all this talk, all this nonsense, all the hubbub about him like being not clutch and all this stuff. Man, how fast they turn.
How fast they turn.
2 seconds ago, they saying he's the greatest basketball player to ever walk God's green earth. Now they saying he's not clutch. What say you about his playoffs and him in general?
Well, I mean, basketball is a sport for people. People are human beings. Human beings have limits. And yes, Steph Curry can shoot the lights out of any building from the parking lot. Last year we talked about the parking lot defense, but man, he's a human being. And when 2 of the best players on the Warriors go out, keep in mind both of them are lethal shooters, especially from behind the line. Steph Curry cannot do that all. physically, it takes a lot. I mean, LeBron James, year in, year out, had to carry teams, and he only won the finals with it. Really, when he was carrying a team,
that's what I tell people.
Once.
Man. That's what I tell people.
Once.
Like you finally see what it is, and it's one of those things where, but people are saying, "Oh, he can't carry a team." I'm like, damn.
Not a lot of people can. It's really tough to carry a team.
We've always said that Draymond is a limited offensive basketball player. We say he does a lot of different things, and then you see, and Andre played out of his mind in the game.
Yeah, he played great.
But lack of offense, it bothered him, David. It's one of those things where I'm like, what put like this, what could have Steph Curry done differently?
He could have hit the shots. That's it. But basketball is two separate games. Mm-hmm. It is a game of creating a shot, and it is a game of finishing the shot. You can design a play, any play you want, and you can get a guy wide open. But no matter how good the play is, it doesn't change if he makes the shot or not.
It's true.
And I mean, of course, you can put the ball in shooters' hands so they hit it better and open up better shooters and better hot spots. But at the end of the day, as a shooter, it's up to you and you only.
Yeah.
And maybe the guy who passes it to you to finish the shot. And look, they drew up a great play for Steph.
It was.
I think he could have got a bit more open, but he doesn't need too much space.
No.
He's just got to hit that shot. And not only the game-winning shot that he clanked off the back iron, I think. He had a bunch of different threes and a bunch of different mid-range shots that he missed. He looked nervous. He looked scared. And the reason why is there's a lot riding on that game. And, I mean, I can't understand what it's like to be in a game where if I win, we play another game.
Yeah.
If we lose, we lose.
Yeah, I never played on that level, so now.
So as a guy like Steph Curry with no offense, you said Steph Curry needs offense around him. It generates his momentum and it generates the fire within him to shoot. And when he doesn't see, his two main guys, Draymond and Iguodala, mainly defensive players. So when he doesn't see that offense being generated around him with big threes and, big pull-up shots and big dunks, he's not going to have the momentum in him to hit those big threes, and that's just one of the main reasons why he wasn't hitting those shots.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer in the season is long and it's exhausting and it's mentally exhausting, physically exhausting, and that was my whole thing. It wasn't about like just an arrogant pick. It's like when I said they weren't winning the title, it was nothing to do with me thinking the Warriors are garbage. It was because I think when they gave away so much to get KD and stuff that I think I'm a big believer in depth in basketball, and I think and the thing is depth doesn't matter until it matters. You see, it doesn't matter if Klay stays healthy and Boogie stays healthy and Kevin Durant stays healthy. It doesn't matter. But if one of those players go down, then it matters. Then what happens if all three of them go down at certain points?
Exactly.
At one point Boogie goes down, then at one point KD goes down, and at one point Klay goes down. I'm sitting here like, guys, and that's when you have to get into the rotation on the bench. And now you have players that are unproven that you don't trust, they're just there, they're just bodies. And they did the best they could. But that's why Nick Young tweeted, which I don't know why Swaggy P tweets at all, but he tweeted the Warriors and says, this is why you need a bench to win a title.
Yeah.
See, he felt some type of way.
It's true.
They gave him away like he was not hitting, like he was like vital to one of that championship run because he was hitting a lot of timely threes. Mm-hmm. So I just think it's a depth thing. I think they more than people realize. I think they go back to the drawing board. I don't give a damn what max they give anybody. I don't care, man. Right now is Klay, it's Steph and Draymond. People need to stop talking to me about Boogie Cousins. But why stop talking to me about Boogie Cousins?
He took a small minimized deal for a ring and didn't even get one because he thought that he could just ride and phone it in. He could phone in his entire game and then win a ring.
He was out of shape, man.
And then he doesn't win a ring because he phoned it in. If he played like the Boogie Cousins we knew in Sacramento, Warriors would have won for sure.
Boogie's out of shape too, man.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry, man. You gotta look at his body, man. He out of shape. You can talk about quad this, quad that, man. That dude was out of shape. He should have came there this season built and ready to go. Mm-hmm. He was out of shape. He was sluggish. He was getting worked. He made a couple baskets and a couple defensive stops, but that's his job. He's 6'10", man.
He's an all-star.
What's somebody patting this dude on the back for scoring 10 points?
He carried the Kings franchise for a long time. If he shoots a clutch shot from, the paint, he should be able to make it.
My whole thing about the whole situation is everyone got mad at my man George Karl for being like all hard on him and stuff like that. Everybody got mad at Coach for being hard on him because it's just things that people don't see. Because players always win out when it goes against player versus coaches. They always get rid of the coach. But what they didn't understand is this is why coaches, old school coaches that I like, they get on players like Boogie because I'm telling you, it was a fitness thing. It was a diet thing. But see, they don't want to talk about that. They just want to act like they're going at each other. What do you think he's probably saying to Boogie? He's like, you need to get in shape. You need to do this. But I'm not trying to hear that. All these things come to light when you get in the big stage. Nobody gives a damn about you when you play in Sacramento. Just stop.
It's true.
Can we please?
The Golden One Center's great, but nobody really...
nobody care.
De'Aaron Fox isn't getting as much exposure as he'd have in a big market. Sacramento's in California, yeah, but it's the smallest team in California right now.
Nobody cares. Y'all, I'm telling you, even when they were popping, nobody cared.
No, even back in like the beginning of the century.
They were popping.
They were, ooh.
And I loved them. I loved them back in
Weber
the day.
And
oh, man.
Peja and
Doug Christie?
Yeah, even, Jason Williams, one of my personal favorites.
White Chocolate, one of my favorites of all time. They had a squad.
They had a really good team. And yeah, they had a couple, everyone wants to say their series versus the Lakers was rigged, which it was not.
No.
Come on.
They got beat.
They did get beat. But ever since then, they've just kind of had this downfall. And I think what really has... they got the 10th seed this year. And no.
They're a good young team, too.
The 9th seed. I'm sorry. They got the 9th seed. They were just really far behind the 8th seed. What really built them up was getting rid of DeMarcus Cousins and adding these young guys, getting De'Aaron Fox.
I rest my case.
Maturing Buddy Hield.
But I rest my case. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, guys... For what I'm trying to say is I've never been the biggest Boogie Cousins fan. I just never have. Man. I don't know where this love affair came from Boogie Cousins, man. He always in something, man. Always.
It's true.
He was always doing something. He was always. But 20 and 10 ain't good enough for me, man. When you cause some trouble, I don't care about 20 and 10.
He was always mouthing off, and to put him and Draymond in the same team is a big questionable call.
The Kings instantly got better when he left.
Instantly.
That team is on his way too. I'm telling you, they're on their way.
They got guys like Cauley Stein, and then they got guys like Marvin Bagley, who while he isn't the rookie of the year,
it's okay.
He's doing okay.
Yeah.
He's living up to the. He could be. I would drop him down a couple picks in 2, but he's living up to it a little bit.
I agree. And like I said, he just got there. He has time to learn and grow.
Yeah.
It was like I said, it was a pretty good finals despite all the drama, despite all the injuries. You still got to give the Raptors credit. The Drake curse could be. I wouldn't say it's over. I think
it's not
momentarily in flux. It's like in purgatory right now. Let's not get crazy, guys. It ain't over.
It's been broken once, but
yeah, he's committed too many
over.
sins. He's committed too many crimes against other teams where everyone's like, it's over. I go, no, the hell it ain't. He's listen, man. We're not sure about that.
There's this weird like stipulation in the curse that when Drake roots for his actual team,
yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
But when Drake bandwagons for your team,
that's what it is.
You're screwed.
You're done.
You're done.
It's over.
You're done.
So we got so Anthony Davis gets traded to the Los Angeles
big news.
Los Angeles Lakers. I wanted to ask you a question. Did they trade away too much? Is the first part of the question.
It's too. I asked you this off air too about the whole trade, and you're right. It's too early to say because you look at the Lakers roster now, and you see guys like Kyle Kuzma and LeBron. Even though he's aging, he's still one of the greatest of all time. He can do it at 35 and 36. You see guys, a young 26-year-old Anthony Davis,
young man
in his prime, looking great, one of the best defensive players inside of the paint.
I agree.
But then you look at the rest of the roster, and you see guys like Rondo, and you see guys like Lance Stevenson.
I like Rondo, but he's always hurt.
Yeah, but he's hurt and he's old.
Always hurt.
There's nobody else to really, you said this like the Warriors, depth.
I'm all about depth.
They have no more depth, and I think it's a good move getting the star, and I think, I've heard they're going to go after Kemba, which I think is a very good look.
Ooh,
I've heard Kyrie wants to play with Anthony Davis. I've heard they're going after Kawhi, which is very ambitious. He already seems like if he was going to leave after winning a title, he would lean more to the Clippers, which there's a huge argument why Kawhi Leonard would leave, and that's because, his legacy's finished. Toronto isn't really his people. He loves the West Coast. It's where he's from. He feels those are more his people, and he wants to build up another franchise.
And what's great is he's like, the thing about it is they can't say anything because he won a title for him. He got like perfect credit.
Yeah.
They could be like, okay, you know what?
Thank you. and no one's gonna hate him if he leaves. Like, thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the first title ever.
You can't hate him.
No, you can't hate him. But if he does leave, he finished. There's no unfinished business. He didn't get so close where he's like, man, I got to go another 5 with this team to get him that championship. He's like, okay, I got them the championship. Time to move on. I love LA. Maybe don't want to play under this LeBron team.
Maybe not.
But Anthony Davis put the Lakers as one of his top teams to be traded to.
He's there.
He and LeBron have been, I wouldn't say, I don't want to use the word tampering, but it's what people consider tampering. They've been friends. They've been communicating. They want to play together. They finally got it happening. Even with Magic leaving, I think it was a good move towards a short future, but one, Anthony Davis is a free agent, and I've heard he wants to test free agency.
Yeah, and I think he wants the max from LA, though. I do.
He does. And can they give him that?
Yeah, I think. Listen, LeBron. I think.
Yeah. See, are they willing to give him that with that front office? And the second thing is, this is ridiculous. Again, they do not have any depth.
This is ridiculous.
They have nobody else. They have Kuzma to score, LeBron to score, AD to score and guard in the paint. They do not have any perimeter defense.
They don't have no perimeter shooters.
I think the biggest mistake, besides I don't think getting rid of Lonzo was a big mistake. I think he wasn't a bust, I'd say, but he's very much not living up to the number 2 pick potential.
I think he's going to ball out in New
I hope
Orleans.
so.
No,
I want to.
He's away from all the nonsense, and I'm telling you, what annoyed me, he was just coming into his own. I think he was just coming into his own. I was on the fence, and then all of a sudden I started seeing that. Looked inside the crystal ball, Bloom. I was inside the crystal ball.
The Lonzo ball.
I was back in it, and I was like...
The Lonzo crystal ball.
And just as I looked at my crystal ball, I was like, y'all trade him! I finally seen something that y'all was talking about. I seen that glimmer. And they trade him, which I said they always going to do. I said his dad's going to get him out of there. When, to me, personally, I think when you fake an injury, because I think the injury was... not as severe as he's saying, and I think he faked the injury because his dad wanted him to play for Luke Walton. You can blame the trainer. They fired the trainer from the Lakers. I was like, that you can do all this. Listen, y'all can do all this smoke and mirrors, X5, Mulder, and Scully stuff all you want. But I'm going to tell you something. I watched that dude roll that ankle. I watched that clip 25 times, man. If that ankle, I was an 8-month ankle sprain.
That's not that bad.
Are you serious?
I think him being on the Lakers was the worst thing for his career starting off. And him going to a team that's... the Pelicans now, to look at their team for a second, they're all about the young guys. They're probably going to get Zion first. They probably might move the 4th. I've heard Bradley Beal rumors. Or they might, take a Culver or Darius Garland at 4.
I can see that.
Right?
I can see that.
They are a team built around young guys. I think the Lakers' biggest mistake was trading Brandon Ingram.
I do too. I think, like I said, because they got Randall still. The starting 5 is lit right now.
Yeah.
Starting 5 got mad Lakers.
And
3 to 5 are Lakers.
Exactly.
So it's like we got Randall, we got Ingram, we got Ball, and it's looking like Zion. And I think about is it Drew Holiday. So I think that's the score.
Drew Holiday's still there.
That could be the score if they wanted to go a little small. And like I said, I think it's interesting, man. I told you I'm not sold on Zion. I could give a damn. This dude has done nothing to impress me. I don't understand what the hoopla is about. I can't wait to be right about this.
They just like his dunks.
I can't write. Listen, it always kills me about this kind of stuff. I'm telling you, how you know I'm getting old. And as I get older, dude, that's all I did was dunk. I'm telling you, any dunk that Zion did, I could do. At his age, I promise you, I will show you footage. And Dave, you're gonna be like, damn, Evan, you was not lying. I don't boast about it. That's just what I could do. I could jump out the gym, 50-inch vertical. I promise you.
Oh my God.
Remember the year Vince Carter won the dunk contest?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
We had a summer league. We had a summer 3-on-3 in the tournament. They had a dunk contest. I did the exact same rotation.
Really?
That was how I won the dunk contest. So I was 16 years old.
And this is on tape?
Of course it's not on tape. Of course that's not on tape. But I did the arm in the rim. I did the 360
See, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see up in there.
16, bro. So like when I'm talking bad about a guy that just can dunk, I don't like doing it. But I'm speaking from experience. He has to develop other parts of his game. I didn't care enough to develop those parts of my game. I usually would just get by it on athleticism, and I get to Germany, and I'm like, okay,
I gotta shoot and I gotta pass and I got all this.
And I blame a lot of my coaches for that because they never worked with me because I was too busy blocking shots and dunking on people. They never pulled me to the side and helped me get better. So I don't want Zion to go through the same thing I went through. That's all I'm trying to say. This is nothing. This is no disrespect. I've seen it before. I was that guy. But I want somebody to pull him to the side, like, you got to work on the J. You got to work on your post move. You got to work on your mid-range. Then we can talk about Zion. Everybody talking about this first pick. I don't give a damn about this first pick. So to be honest with you, I want to see what he does in the league, man. And he has, I said, the Pelicans to me have instantly turned into a playoff team. Instantly. I think they're instantly a 5 seed in the West. Instantly. Instantly, bro. That squad is crazy right now.
They're young.
And they're about to trade away the pick and get somebody else.
I think they're a bit too young to make a good playoff run.
6. I ain't say make a run. I said 16. I hear them. I ain't about no run. I ain't saying nothing about no run.
I don't know. I think they're a bit too young, and I think.
What you trying to say? You trying to say they ain't making the playoffs? Is that what you trying to say? I dare you. I dare you to say that.
The Pelicans. I'm sorry, the Pelicans who just traded Anthony Davis. Yes, they got Lonzo.
After
yes, they got Ingram.
all this crystal ball stuff I just told you,
What do you see in there? Do you see what seed do you see the Pels?
Check it real quick. I've never done this in public before. I never actually checked it.
Check it.
Hold on, man. Hold on. I see.
Calling the New Orleans Hornets or Pelicans.
Oh yeah, the power is activated. That's just crazy. I see the 5th seed, man. I'm calling it.
Let me take a look at this, man.
Take a look, man. I don't know if you have the same gifts as me, man. It might. I don't know. I don't know if it worked for you, man.
They don't work like this, but I'm hearing something.
What do you hear? What you hear? Man, you might have the gift. I trusted in you. I trust in you. You're wrong.
I hear 8th seed at best.
Oh, you got them in the AC though. So you do got
at best. At best.
Okay.
I do see them sneaking by just based on the athleticism.
We'll see. You might, but you're right. They're young, bro.
But the thing is,
they are young.
One of the youngest team in the NBA, and yes, they're very dysfunctional, is the Chicago Bulls. And look how god-awful they did this year. Yeah, they have,
got a fair point there.
Wendell Carter and Zach LaVine and Chris Dunn and Lauri Markkanen. These are really good players.
I agree.
The problem is they're not gelling, and my biggest fear, 1, enlisting Zion to lead a team when he's a rookie. 2, trying to have a bunch of young personalities gel in the first year. Give it time. I think in 3 or 4 years' time, if they keep with this method of growing Zion and developing a shot.
That's all I care about.
He went to Duke and he was under Coach K, and he probably got a lot of good guidance there.
I agree with that.
But if they continue this, developmental train, they will be a big, good playoff team.
Yeah, I wasn't fortunate enough to have that kind of guidance because, man, I wish I did because he'll be fine. They got a lot of good. Alvin Gentry's pretty good with young players.
Yes, he is.
He'll be fine.
I mean, Anthony Davis came to the then Hornets. They transitioned to the Pelicans with him on that team.
Yeah.
He balled out. He didn't have anybody around him, and he balled out.
I told you, man, it's the lost art of the mid-range jumper. David Bloom, the 15-foot jumper, 12 to 15 feet can get you $50 million.
That's why he's still in the league.
That's it.
That's exactly why he's still in the league. Is that shot.
Jeremy Lin had a month of shooting mid-range jumpers and three-pointers and got $50 million. I'm telling you, it's the lost art of the jump shot. I'm tired of y'all acting like you don't have to shoot in this league. JJ Redick's like, yo, bruh, I tell you what shooting can get you.
Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, boy, because he can shoot.
You see Corver and even back in the day, Mike Miller getting bounced around different teams because they could shoot.
These boys can shoot.
Whatever the best team is, will go pick him up, and he's like, yeah, I'll play for that.
I used to get crazy when I used to be like, oh my God, this dude is just, he can shoot. He's garbage, but he can just shoot. We be in the gym, I'm like, oh, this guy's trash, but he can shoot. And he be like 50 years old on the court balling with us still because he spot up, he can shoot. But anyways, that's one of those things, man. So like I said, we'll see what the future holds. We'll see what the pick. Maybe they'll shock the world, not pick Zion. Who knows?
Oh, come on.
They won't though.
Who are they going to pick?
What do they trade away to pick? I don't know. I
think what's going to be really interesting is John Morant at the second pick for the Grizzlies.
I agree with that.
I think he's going to be a big force in the NBA.
I agree with that.
Based on how he played, and he didn't have the big prowess of Duke. He played at Murray State.
Those are my kind of players. My kind of players are like the Dwayne Wades, the Marquettes, the Arizona States, your new alma mater. My boy James Harden went there. See,
exactly.
I'm all about the San Diego States and the Kawhi Leonards. I'm all about these colleges that people don't know about where somebody's balling. I know, no disrespect to powerhouse teams. They've created some of the greatest players of all time. But what you're starting to see is there's a new crop of players coming up.
Yeah,
and they're really good.
And
guess where old Wardell went to? Steph Curry, Davidson.
Exactly.
And he's a household name. So I'm all about these players coming up in they're all Division I schools-ish. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of... nowadays, we don't really see like Texas and Marquette and Oklahoma doing amazing. Oklahoma a little bit with Trey, but Durant was a Longhorn.
Texas.
I think, Chris Paul, Wake Forest.
You see what I'm saying? Like look at the colleges we're naming. We're not naming basketball powerhouses.
No.
Last time they were like relevant was when Timmy Duncan was there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I don't even. Yeah, it's one of those. He stayed all 4 years there. It's one of those things where I like the players that you're talking about because I like where they're from. They're not getting all the hubbub. They're not getting all that press. They just playing ball.
That's what they do.
Minding their business.
And John Morant's in the tournament getting triple doubles and getting upsets. And I think the Grizzlies is the perfect place for him to be.
I agree.
They groom young guys. They have a very strong, grindy type of play. You saw with Zach Randolph and Mike Conley and Marc Gasol. They play well, and transitioning into this kind of new Grizzlies age.
Yeah.
They're trying to developing their young players. I think they're going to ditch Conley as fast as they can.
Yeah.
And bringing in John Morant, they're really going to try to explode into the next couple of seasons.
I agree.
More picks, not even free agents, just build through the draft.
So Kawhi Leonard was named Finals MVP.
Yes, he was.
I believe he deserved to be Finals MVP.
Of course he did.
I think he should have been just playoff MVP just based on the job he did on Giannis. He's tinier than him.
Oh, he was the reason why the Raptors got past that Bucks team that
100%.
looked impenetrable. And the Raptors have proved that the way they play the defense and the intricacy of their defense can beat teams.
Yeah.
They developed a specific scheme to defeat Giannis, and they developed a specific scheme to defeat Curry and defeat Klay Thompson
100%.
and those Warriors.
They knew what they were doing. They knew they were limited, and they took advantage. So I said he was named Finals MVP. He's a 2-time Finals MVP. He's one of 3 players to be a Finals MVP for 2 different teams and win a championship, joining the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the GOAT, LeBron James.
Isn't he the first?
Whatever that means for you. Steph Curry, by the way, 0 for 8 in game-winning shots.
That's the thing
That kills me. That surprised me.
that surprised me too. I mean,
He's
yes,
never hit one game. That's you know what I mean in playoffs. Like game buzzer. It's weird. That stat. I was like, whoa. I mean, triple check that stat.
Dame's hit 2 big ones. Kawhi hit the biggest one of the entire playoffs.
God, I hate that so much because he's such a great player. I hate it. People have such weird criteria when it comes to grading greatness because it's so I've seen too much stuff for me to even question his greatness.
He's phenomenal.
He's just he's too good, bro.
He's the the powerhouse of this, like I said it a couple shows ago, this 3-point shooting era.
There's a little story here. Little story I want to tell you. We were at the 2K. We had this 2K party, man. I won this little contest, man. I know for a little 2K thing.
Look at you.
I
Look
know,
at
man.
you.
2016 2K game. They flew us out to New York. Me and my wife put us up in old 5-star Hilton Hotel.
Wow.
Took us to like this green room VIP thing called the Marquee. Like all the NBA players in the green room, all the open bar, and I didn't know it was all even top shelf stuff until it was too late. So I had tried to get some like Louis something, but it was too late. I was salty about that. I was drinking like rail stuff all night because I was trying to be respectful because I'm a respectful man. I blame my mother and father for that. So we're there, and just to let you know, this story is not about me. This is actually a Wardell story. So we're there, and all the NBA players that are on the cover are there. And Wardell walks by my wife, and Heidi was like, "This is the greatest of Steph Curry." He walks by my wife. My wife could not believe how small Steph Curry was.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
God.
how great Steph Curry is. She was blown. She's like, Evan, he is that great and he's that small. I go, you have just summed up why I tell people to never disrespect that young man.
He is tiny.
My wife's 5'4". She was like, what in the? She was, Evan, that's Steph Curry. I go, baby, that's Steph Curry right there. She was like, what? She said, her exact quote was, how good must he be? I go, this is what commenters don't understand because they don't get to be around those kind of people, man. I was in the hot spot. When you are around greatness, she was flabbergasted at the size of that young man. And for him to dominate a league the way he does, it's unbelievable, man.
2-time MVP, 1-time, first ever unanimous at that height.
It's so hard for me to go against that young man. It just is. He's too great, bro.
And the people he's going against are anywhere from like 6'2" to 6'7".
Yes.
At that position.
Yes.
I mean, hell, on the opposite side of the spectrum, I mean, on his team, Sean Livingston, 6'7"
He's
at a point guard.
6'7". Klay is 6'7".
Durant's what?
6'10",
6'10"?
6'11". Boogie's 6'10".
He's 6. What even is Steph? What is 6 foot?
I'm telling you, he looked like he was 6 foot tall. I'm telling you. And he was
is.
like, what?
Yeah, that's it.
She was like looking because he was like a head up over. That's all he was. She was like, oh my God.
Yeah. No,
She thought that was like
I'm
his
5'4".
brother. She thought that was his brother. Yeah.
I got the chance to meet, who was it? I got the chance to meet Blake Griffin a couple years ago, and I met him, and I just went, Up here. Just nice to meet you.
Unbelievable,
sir.
man.
Thanks what you do for the team. Hope your 5th injury gets better.
Seriously.
Up here.
I'm very humble, David Bloom.
But that's what you expect from NBA players.
Yeah, and I think that all the time, just about the greatness. So it's hard for me to say he's not clutch, and it's hard for me to say he missed him. It's tough, man, because y'all gave him a unanimous MVP. Anybody that agreed with that unanimous MVP can never talk bad about Steph. You know you've disqualified yourself.
Yeah, you and everybody else said, yeah, this is the only guy who won his MVP.
That's insanity.
And even though he misses a clutch shot, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, he's not great. He doesn't deserve this.
I'm like, wait a minute.
We all miss shots. We're all human beings.
Wait a second.
He's not a robot programmed to play basketball that was created at Davidson, and now he's over here chucking up threes and hitting them all, which I know it looks like.
I know.
But Steph Curry misses shots.
He does, and I think he's made this. Out of all the shots he's made in his career, he's still a 40% 3-point shooter.
See, that's impressive.
That is crack smoke. It's a joke.
And for a while, this man couldn't even see.
But he's like he's a light-skinned Hawkeye, man. That dude was Hawkeye.
And he just like kind of squinted. Was like, yeah, that looks like the
I
rim.
just got to give Steph a little bit of props, man. He's getting up credit, man. I think some people, my boy Spike, wish he was here. He did a whole monologue voiceover about how trash Steph Curry is. This is for him. This whole spiel was for him. He did a whole little voiceover monologue about how trash he is, in his deep voice, how trash Steph Curry was. I wish you'd have seen it. It broke my heart. I know.
That's so disrespectful for everything.
The level of disrespect.
He is the main reason the Warriors have been back at the championship 5 years in a row.
And will be the reason if they get back.
Yeah. And if they've lost two, they lost two. LeBron had one of the best playoff, if not the best finals runs ever.
I agree.
Down 3-1. And, he did not have the support. He put too much on his back. He I don't want to say crumbled because even a god would crumble if you had what Steph Curry had on his back. And on the other side, you had a Raptors team that was boasting a Kawhi Leonard, was boasting a young and fresh Pascal Siakam, a bunch of good veterans like, an aging Ibaka and a very aging Marc Gasol. And then you had guys like Van Vliet hitting clutch threes and Lowry, the heart and soul of that team. And you had, Norman Powell on the rise and emerging.
I like him.
They built a really good squad, and what they were able to do, under Nick Nurse was play an amazing defense on Steph Curry, making him pass to guys like Draymond and guys like, DeMarcus Cousins and even Quinn Cook and, Alfonso McKenzie.
Agreed.
Guys who weren't creating as many good shots as Steph would because they don't have the depth. I would never trust Quinn Cook. I would never trust Kevon Looney, Alfonso McKenzie, even my guy, Sean Livingston, now with a big clutch shot like I would trust Steph with.
I agree.
And that's one of the main reasons why you said the depth that the Warriors couldn't handle this Raptors team who had so much depth.
All healthy.
All healthy, all deep. They were running great rotations. They had guys... Fred VanVleet was hitting threes in Steph Curry's face.
Like I said, that's one of the. I forgot to say before we wrap this bad boy. That is one of the greatest defensive teams I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was so impressive.
I don't give a. See, this is my problem with all you people out there making more money than me talking sports on TV. None of y'all have said this is one of the greatest defensive teams in the history of the NBA. I have never seen more disciplined, more cohesive, more tightly knit unit in years.
And they all played for the team.
Years.
Even Kawhi Leonard, who I think is...
I've never seen anything like it.
He's one of the best team-playing superstars out there. He played for the team. He played, obviously, for himself, and maybe he didn't want to go to Toronto in the beginning.
Balled
but,
out, though.
He contacted Kyle Lowry and was like, let's go get this. Let's do it. Let's get this ring.
And they got that ring. So, with that being said, before we wrap it up, I got to put you on the spot. Bold prediction next year, because we ain't going to be doing basketball for a little bit. So, bold prediction. Who wins the NBA title next year?
Ooh.
Yeah, right, just like that. Boom.
Man, well... There's a couple circumstances.
You have time to revise. This is not like...
I will walk you through it real quick. The first circumstance is, where does Kawhi go? Mm-hmm. My thoughts is he's going to stay because he won a championship. If he does stay, I see it as between the Raptors and the Bucks. I think the Bucks are only going to get better this offseason. I think they're going to develop Giannis, and Giannis is a smart enough player. He's been through so much to know that if he wants to stay...
Mid-range jumper.
He's going to create that jumper. I think it's between those two teams. If Kawhi goes, and if Kawhi goes to... I would say the Clippers. It's hard for me to just, all of a sudden go, oh, yeah, the Clippers are going to win the finals. Because I've thought that before because I'm a dumb, 12-year-old.
Depends, though. They get Kawhi, it's a different story.
It's a different story. I don't think it'll be the Lakers, even if they get another guy. They're too thin.
I got the Lakers winning the title. I'm not in the ball yet, though. I'm not in my crystal ball yet. That's just me pontificating. I'm not in the ball yet.
You just want to see your man get a 4th ring, don't you?
damn right.
Yeah, that's it. I have the Milwaukee Bucks if Kawhi leaves. If Kawhi stays, it's a tie between the Bucks and the Raptors.
These are bold statements right there. I got the Lake Show, man. GOAT James for the 4th ring, bringing one back to Tinseltown.
You know when else people had the Lakers? Even I had the Lakers.
When?
Kobe Dwight Howard.
Listen, we ain't talking about
Yeah.
Don't even.
Last time they brought in a really good big man.
I'm not even gonna let you get Listen, we wrapping up. Before we get up out of there, David Bloom, please tell the lovely people
Oh, man.
to find you before I start a riot up in here.
David H. Bloom, Instagram, Twitter. Never forget the times when all my Laker fans friends boasted to me about how because now that we have Dwight Howard and Kobe, they're gonna gel so well, and
still going
and
up.
Steve Nash are gonna come in. We're gonna win. Hold your horses, Lakers fans.
Pump the brakes, Lakers fans.
Pump the brakes.
I want y'all to understand something. I ain't no damn Lakers fan, man. I can't stand y'all. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Exactly.
But LeBron, old GOAT James, I ride with him. So for the time being, I rock with y'all. Be happy y'all have me on y'all bandwagon. Be happy. I'm a good supporter.
It's a
of the
good
Lakers
bandwagon
show.
fan over here.
Yeah, I'm a good bandwagon fan. I'm not gonna be here for long. As soon as LeBron James leave, I'm done with y'all. Y'all bums. But anyways, yo, it's boy.
Hey, man,
If
if we get Kawhi though, man,
then I'm a Clippers fan. I told you y'all got good Kawhi. I'm switching sides.
it's a wrap, man.
I'm switching sides.
That's a wrap.
Do I have your permission to be a Clippers fan? Y'all get
Yes,
Kawhi?
you do. I will give you my oversized Elton Brand jersey.
I will rock that joint every show. Evan T. Mac Instagram and Twitter, man. We will see y'all when we see y'all. Stephen Lemieux, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate your services, man. Love y'all. We out.
Peace.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.